All right, we're back. All right,
Yeah, we're
we're
back.
back. We were we were hit with an unexpected computer shutdown. Very annoying. Very annoying. So I've got to pretty much restore everything I had here. So just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Actually, while I'm doing that, maybe we can listen to an update about Israel and the war and the struggles that the Jewish people are dealing with right now in the wake of the Arab atrocities and massacre of Jews in southern Israel on October 7th.
We are in the front of the free world vis-a-vis a world of darkness and evil. We must prevail. I call upon the families of thousands of combatants who are within the borders of the city of Gaza. I know you're worried, and I know that this is a very difficult time, and you are in tension. I know this feeling personally. I strengthen you and I support you. I also call upon the families of the abducted, and I say we did not forget. We are determined to bring the hostages back home. I meet the forces in the field, I visit the bases, and I hear the feeling and the strength and power of the soldiers of the IDF and the Shabak people. I see how determined they are to obtain the target, to storm, to fight, and to bring about achievements. I rely on them. I want to say here, specifically, I have a very strong sense of safety, of security. My trust in the Chief of Staff, Halevi, who does his job with incredible professionality and determination and a lot of courage and good sense. Thank you. Questions? Mr. Minister, recently, unfortunately, also the Houthis from Yemen are attacking us. Israel did not react. Are we planning to do so? We know the data. We will know what to do. Leo Kenan from Channel 13. Mr. Minister, what is your position regarding the transfer of the tax payments to the Palestinians as demanded by America? The state of Israel has an interest in stability in Judea and Samaria. Always and definitely at this time, we should transfer immediately these monies so that they will serve the operational mechanism of the PA and also the forces of the Palestinian Authority who assist, according to their considerations, to prevent terror and mass events. I think we should abide by the cabinet decision as it was made a few days ago. Channel 12. Do you expect another escalation towards the speech of Nasrallah in the north? And is the complete destruction of Hamas still a target? We are ready with a strong defense in the north. The Air Force is ready to any mission. We don't have an interest in a war, but we will know how to act with the force if we need to. As for the targets of the war, they have not changed at all. According to the recommendations I made to the security forces and was accepted by the cabinet, we're advancing. It's not going to be short, it's not going to be easy, but we shall prevail. Channel 11. Does Hamas use children as a human shield? And also, we see people, we see ambulances coming out of the Gaza Strip, don't they have some commanders there inside or senior Hamas people? Hamas is a murderous organization. They will do anything. They'll use anything they have. I don't have to describe to people in Israel what happened to children, to women, and to elderly people by the Hamas. And therefore, nothing is imaginable or something that cannot happen. This is Hamas. This is ISIS of Gaza. And when I said it to General Austin, he said to me, they're even worse than ISIS because I fought ISIS. He said, for 6 years, it's not the same as what the Hamas did. As for the exit from the Gaza Strip, these things are coordinated together with the Egyptians. There's a checkup on the border in the south. And I think all in all, it's going the way it should. The entrance to Gaza started 3 weeks after the beginning of the war. Do you think it harmed our legitimacy in the world? Maybe now the legitimacy is dwindling. In the war, the main target is to win. All the rest are secondary things. The ground operation started when the conditions were ready, the physical conditions that had to do with artillery and the Air Force, also the readiness of the forces and also the timing that we needed and other things as well. But I think we have no other choice. This is a no-choice war. We must win this war no matter the price, no matter the time it takes. And even if some people don't like it or some nations in the world don't like it, we continue until we defeat the organization called Hamas. The first attack of the Houthis against the southern part of Israel and Eilat was thwarted by the Americans. The aircraft ship came only today. Is that a surprise, or did Israel know that there's such an attack expected? As I said, we know the situation. We are acting against this threat for the moment just by defense from the sea and also by air and by land, together and in collaboration, and we'll know what to do. Did you have a pre-knowledge or information? I don't relate to contents or to information or anything else. Is it clear that you are dealing with the hostages? And what about the fuel going into Gaza? First of all, of course, we deal with everything that has to do with the hostages and the MIAs. Every morning when I value the situation, Nitzan Alon and Gal Hirsch is sitting there, those in charge of their hostages. And this effort is happening according to the cabinet decision, together with the defense of other places, also the humanitarian aid, and also other important issues that we are synchronizing on my desk in the security system. Any additional effort is welcome. Every process is inside this framework, and eventually it's all taken into consideration by the Chief of Staff and myself and the cabinet, and I think that things are working in a very organized way. Regarding the monies to the PA, is it the right thing to transfer these money? And we know in the past that some of these monies were transferred to the terror organization, to their activities, and especially in a day like this, where Abu Mazen, the head of the PA, said that the Palestinian people will not brandish a white flag. I think I gave the answer. In the war, my main request is winning, victory, whatever helps. Victory we have to do. All the rest we'll deal with when the time comes. Just in case Hezbollah starts a war in Lebanon, do you think we are going to attack in Iran? I suggest we look at the things in a very educated manner. I think Hezbollah is deterred. They see exactly what's happening in Gaza. They don't want to turn Beirut into Gaza. All the rest is self-evident. Thank you very much.
All right, the Israeli Defense Minister there, Yoav Gallant, he says that Israel has made significant progress in its fight against Hamas. More than 10,000 munitions have been dropped, thousands of targets hit, and thousands of terrorists eliminated. That's what the Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, had to say there. Amir Oren is with us in the studio. What did you make of Defense Minister?
A relatively moderate version of the Israeli government platform. Gallant does not promise too much. He evades the question regarding the war aim of totally eliminating, eradicating Hamas. Obviously, he wants to defeat the organization, but he does not repeat earlier promises to totally do away with Hamas, leaving some space for a diplomatic solution where Hamas will no longer be there. It's a pep talk. He is like a coach in mid-game.
Do you think it's a realistic objective to destroy Hamas?
Now, Hamas does not necessarily need Gaza in order to survive. It can go elsewhere because Gaza is the least of its wishes. He wants to take over the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. If he can do it out of a launching pad called Gaza, fine. If not, it will go elsewhere, try to transform itself, and live to fight another day. We don't see Sinwar and Def and all the others who are talking about the sweetness of being a shaheed sacrificing themselves. So they are eventually going to have a rational decision-making process. If it's the survival of the organization at stake, they will accept some sort of a compromise and get out of Gaza and promise themselves and their adherents that they are able to find another base out of which to fight Israel.
You think that Israel would accept that?
It depends on American pressure. The United States is funding the war on Israel's part. The United States is giving Israel the ammunition and munitions Israel desperately needs, and Israel cannot say no to a friend such as President Biden.
All right, we've had comments as well in the last hour from the Israeli Foreign Minister, Eli Cohen. He says that the Red Cross must visit the hostages in Gaza. He says the Red Cross has no right to exist otherwise. And it's 26 days now, and all of those families are yet to have even a proof of life of their
Well, you know, it's of course the right to wish, but not more than that. Hamas is not going to give away its best card in the game, and neither did Syria after the Yom Kippur War. They all know how Israel values its citizens' lives, its soldiers' lives, that it is willing to pay even for a visit by a doctor, be it Red Cross or anyone else. So this is going to be left for the latter parts of the game, for the end game.
All right, thanks, Amir. Okay, well, let's talk about Iran, because Iran...
So just so you know that this is live, coming from Israel, and these are facts. You watch this show, or you watch this, what I'm streaming right now, you'll get the facts. And you'll understand that the Arabs are brutal, they massacre, they commit atrocities, as was shown on October the 7th. Not even 1 month ago, 3 weeks ago.
And touted the promise of normalization and the reason why ties are a must.
I believe that we are at the cusp of an even more dramatic breakthrough, an historic peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia.
We hope that it will reach a place that it will ease the life of the Palestinians and get Israel as a player in the Middle East.
There, Bin Salman on Fox News Channel's special report. The Middle East has changed, of course. Feelings toward Israel are now out in the open, fully. And war is not the time for peace. But a steady stream of indicators points in one direction. On the day after, Riyadh wants normalization done, because much has not changed.
Before 7th of October, a lot of de-escalation have happened, which brought a lot of hope for the region, and we don't want the recent events to derail that. So we are making a lot of efforts with our partners.
Saudi Arabia still would want a defense pact with the United States and still would want to pursue its Vision 2030 to the end. That vision has Saudi Arabia pivoting from an inward-looking...
You know what I think? I think that Saudi Arabia hates the Palestinians, or those that call themselves Palestinians. Hello, Henry. You're back. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. Computer glitch. Everything just went crashed. And I had to rebuild. So, Saudi Arabia hates these Palestinians. They consider them subhuman for some reason. I don't know what the deal is that is between them. But I know that Saudi Arabia hates the Palestinian Arabs, and Iraq hates the Palestinian Arabs, and Syria hates the Palestinian Arabs, and Egypt hates the Palestinian Arabs. So, what can you glean from that? I have absolutely no idea. Now, this guy that's on the screen right now, this is a replay. I saw this yesterday. This is a replay. What is the messaging saying right now? The messaging. All right, let's see. Saudi Arabia is like the North Korea of the Middle East. Interesting. I don't know much. I don't think so. I shouldn't say I don't think so. I think you're close, Henry. You maybe, yeah. Maybe, but not maybe, because Saudi Arabia has open communications with the United States. Right there, you see they're being interviewed on TV, which is not what North Korea does. You don't see North Korea anyway. So maybe a more sort of a diluted version of North Korea, but I guess you're in the right ballpark.
Saudi Arabia did it 2 years ago. Now there's a pattern here, and the pattern is that they've realized that the region is split into two, and they want to be on the side of good and not on the side of radicalism and destruction. And so in that sense, this is a failure for Iran, but they've given it a good shot. We have a lot of the Arab street, which is still very sympathetic to the Palestinian cause. And what I try to tell people is, if you're sympathetic to the Palestinians, the last thing you want for them is Hamas to be their rulers in Gaza.
Abdullah, I hope you're back with us. Can you hear me? Thank you, Fleur. So, Abdullah, would you agree with that? I mean, Saudi Arabia said, didn't it, that part of the reason it wants closer ties with Israel is to improve the lives of Palestinians. It would appear at this stage they're holding steady to that pledge.
We've been there. We discussed this. Definitely, the Saudi position hasn't changed, and will definitely, I assume, and actually, I don't assume. I believe strongly that Saudi Arabia will push forward with regard to seeing a closer relation with Israel, leading to the bilateral recognition. But again, what we need to understand is one thing: it's not just what is needed on the part of the Saudis. also we need to look into what is needed on the part of the Israelis. The Israelis need as well to make steps like what we heard just a few minutes ago from your Minister of Defense Gallant when he was asked about releasing funds to the EPA. He said we should because they are our partners in countering certain aspects of stability within the West Bank. Again, what we also need to see, while we have, as Flora said, while we have eradicated Islamic fundamental, let's say, current within our societies, unfortunately, we're seeing the growth of nationalistic, far right wing in Israel. Now, I'll tell you very frankly, it is a worrying factor. We're going to continue developing relation with Israel for the mutual benefit of the region as people, but you need to fix your politics as well.
Okay, thanks, Abdullah. Amir, and I'll put that to you. Can Israel restrain its far right?
It's Newtonian physics 101. For every action, there is a reaction. When Netanyahu boasted that the Palestinians do not have a veto over the larger regional process, some Palestinians, namely Hamas, came out with murderous weapons. Now, if one wants to help the moderates, as Yoav Gallant just indicated, one can also, at the same time, hit the extremists. But this is not Netanyahu's plan. Netanyahu doesn't want to compromise with the Palestinian Authority. He wants to bypass them. And as we just heard from the Gulf, this will not do. And the U.S. administration will not let Netanyahu do it. What we heard from Gallant was really a taunt at Bezalel Smotrich, the finance minister. And the Israeli electorate must decide whether it is for a Smotrich or for a leader left of Gallant and definitely left of Netanyahu.
Fleur, would you like to come in there? I mean, there is an accusation, a suggestion that the hard right in Israel has suppressed moderate Palestinian voices, and we need those Palestinian voices now to rebuild after Hamas is destroyed.
I don't fully agree, because the pay-to-slay policy that has been led by the Palestinian Authority, Fatah, basically paying life pensions to people who kill Jews, did not come about in the last year of this government. It's been there for decades. The indoctrination of the educational system in the Palestinian Authority, which actually Hamas considers it good enough for their school system as well, has been there, was an Oslo commitment to stop the incitement, to stop the Jew hatred, to stop the obsession with martyrdom. That hasn't been taken out of the curriculum. That's got nothing to do with this current government. So let's not paint a rosy picture to the things that were going on before. This is the 5th Gaza war. The other 4 happened with the previous government and the one before that. So let's not paint a rosy picture of what was here before. What we've had here is the complacency of the entire world funding also the Palestinian Authority with this toxic educational system and pay to slay, and the entire world funding Hamas, knowing full well that they were taking the money and building an underground terror network rather than building schools for their children. So let's not pretend that that wasn't going on for years already.
All right.
I totally agree on that one. Let's get back to the chat, because you guys are actually making an effort. I appreciate that. There we go. Let's see what you guys got to say. So, let's see here. No religion, no religion. Well, When it comes to religion, if it's your own private thing and you keep it at home, like it's like a hobby, you do it at home, right? You don't go and parade your hobby around the streets. You just do it at home quietly. That's what religion should be. You do it at home quietly. Nobody should know. Nobody should have to know what anybody else's religion is, right? It's just your private thing. And that's the problem that we have in this world. There's just too much promoting bad religion. Bad religion being an oxymoron, but I'm going to say it anyway. The government of Israel is not secular either. You're quite right. Unfortunately, they're not. They're supposed to be secular. There's supposed to be a separation of church and state, especially in Israel, where let me just tell you this, that Zionism at its roots is secular. It's the religious Zionists, or religious Zionism has taken over secular Zionism in the last couple of decades. And I resent that. I have no love for the for the Jews in government who are religious. I don't believe that there should be any religious bloc in government at all. And in Israel, there's like a 30% religious bloc. It's crazy. It's nuts. So I do agree with you there, that it should be secular. However, at the end of the day, David, secular or not secular, atheist or ultra-religious, a Jew is a Jew to the Arab, and a Jew must be eliminated according to the Arab. That's it. It's simple as that. It's an existential war between the Arabs and the Jews in the Middle East. The Arabs, as you know, all originated out of Arabia, so they are not indigenous to the land. The Arabs didn't arrive until the Muslim conquests started to spread westward and eastward in the 600s, whatever. So there were Jews had been living there for the last 3,000 years. Israel has been spoken there for the last Hebrew has been spoken there for the last 3,000 years. Hebrew is spoken there today. Arabic wasn't introduced into the region until 600 and something, or 700, whatever it was, when the Arabs conquered the area. And don't forget that the area was not, once they conquered it, they didn't hold on to it. Number one, the first crusade came and knocked them out. And number two, when the crusades were kind of over, there was still a Christian presence. And number three, it was the Ottoman Empire that eventually conquered all of the Arabs. The Arabs were under the yoke of the Ottoman Empire since the year 1516. In the year 1516, the Ottoman Empire conquered the region, the province, the Roman province of Palestine. There wasn't a country. There never has been a country of Palestine with sovereign borders, and leaders and a government. Never. There's never been one. There's never been a Palestine. And at this stage, it doesn't look like there ever will be, unless Jordan acquiesces and says, yes, most of the people in this country of Jordan are Palestinian Arab. Therefore, it's only fair that we make Jordan the Arab Palestine. Don't forget that the West Bank was ruled by Jordan from 1948 until 1967. The Arab West Bank, ruled by Jordan, was annexed by Jordan as a province. They didn't say, okay, we're taking this land and this is Palestine. Here you go, Palestinian Arabs. Here you go. It's yours. In fact, if you know your history, you'll know that Yasser Arafat of the PLO was in control of the West Bank. And in 1970, the King of Jordan kicked the PLO out of the West Bank. And it was returned to (1970)? No, in 1970, Israel owned the West Bank. They still own the West Bank. Don't think that the Palestinian Arabs in the West Bank actually are indigenous. No, they're not. I've just shown you. Hebrew was spoken 3,000 years ago in the area. It has been spoken in the area by Jews since then up until today. So the Jews are historically the rightful owners of the land, but which makes no sense. I mean, which is irrelevant, I should say. Whoever last conquered the land with the armies owns the land. When the Ottomans conquered the land with the Ottoman absorbed it into the Ottoman Empire, the Ottomans owned the land. When the British defeated the Ottoman Empire in the region and they were given the mandate for Palestine, the British owned the land. When the Arabs went to war with the newly formed State of Israel in 1947, the State of Israel defeated the Arabs. And so at that point, the Israelis, the State of Israel, owned the land. They didn't own the West Bank because the State of Israel could not defeat the Jordanian army in the West Bank. In 1967, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, everybody, all the Arabs, attacked Israel. Regarding the West Bank, the Jordanian army could not fight off the Israeli army. The Israeli army defeated the Jordanian army in the West Bank. And now, and since then, Israel has owned the West Bank. Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too. History is what it is. Okay? For example, the territory in the Donbass that Russia took is owned by Russia. It's not owned by anybody else. It's owned by Russia. Because by sheer weight of force, they took it over. Right? If Ukraine pushes them out, Ukraine will have their territory back and they will own it. It's the way it is. So stop crying for the Palestinian Arabs who are not innocent. Every single one of those Palestinian Arabs is a Jew hater and would like to see the Jews eradicated. Not only from the region, but from the world, from the planet. So don't forget that history is important. And crying for the Palestinian Arab, Nazi, Hamas is not going to help you. In fact, crying for anybody is not going to like you. Is not going to help you. Hello, Pio. Pio, and everybody who's watching, I do have a Discord channel open, and we could certainly convert this whole stream into a Henry, of course you're not an Arab hater. You're an Arab lover. You're a Jew hater. We can convert this into a conversation if anybody would like to join. Actually, I should open up my Discord. My crash closed it. So hold on a sec. I'll open it. And you guys can join, have a chat. All right. Ah, Pio's already in there.
Yeah. Hi. I don't know if it will make some sound problems if I'm talking to you and listening. Oh, I'm too loud. I'm too loud.
You're too loud where?
I'm way too loud.
Where are you way too loud? I don't know what you mean. You're way too, I turned you down, so how can you be loud?
I'm hearing it on YouTube. I'm hearing.
More than 10,000 munitions have been dropped, thousands of targets hit, and thousands. 10,000 munitions have been dropped, thousands of targets hit, and thousands.
What do you mean you're hearing it? So you're hearing it on YouTube, and you're also hearing it twice. I don't get it. So you're hearing it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm hearing it twice at the moment. I can.
I need to put my headphones on.
Yeah, I'm hearing it twice. Yes, I can.
So just give me a moment. I need to put my headphones on.
Yeah, I'm hearing it twice. Yes, I can.
So just give me a moment. I need to put my.
Maybe I will just mute YouTube. But I was way too loud on YouTube.
Yeah, that's also because I've got a hang on a second. I have a gain that there we go. Try now.
So I muted YouTube now, so I don't know.
Unmute YouTube and listen.
No, you can just ask the audience. So am I still 5 times louder than Sydney?
Well, I just lost, as you can see, I need to find a replacement for this side here. So give me one moment. Pio, talk to the people. Talk to them.
Yeah. So I just joined like 5 minutes ago or something. And you were talking about what's happening there. For me, it's kind of horrible, but it's not like recently. Like the problem is since the 7th of the last month or something. For me personally, it's like I would like to have peace there, but I don't have no solution for that. And on both sides, there are a lot of people who lost their relatives, children, brothers, sisters, and stuff, right? And each of them, have a right to. No, they don't have the right. It's understandable that they are kind of hating each other. But what's true 100% is that the people in Gaza are just puppets for the Hamas. They are living under the dictatorship of Hamas. And those highest guys, when they are growing up and they're like 14, they realize, oh, I have no future. There is no thing I can do here except join Hamas and die for their causes. Because if you die like a murderer, whatever, terrorist, your family will get money support from Hamas, and it's a lot of money. So it's like their own only solution, right? And I don't understand. First, I don't understand how those people can live under these conditions, right? Being under the dictatorship of Hamas, because this area gets millions of dollars support, not only from the Arabic states, but also from Europe, from America, even from Israel, right? And why they don't invest in people? Instead, they invest still in war. Or why the average guy, or why those people are not able to raise against the Hamas? Because I don't think they want really the war. They have, I think, better stuff to do than doing the war. Like, yeah, this is kind of stuff I will say. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Except that I'm still looking for. Well, it doesn't really matter. I can still keep my mic open while I look for my little bag of replacements. Where the hell did I put them? I think it's we're in a black and white situation here. You got your Arabs, you got your Jews. The Arabs want to annihilate the Jews, and the Jews just want to be left in peace. So if you support the Arabs, you support Jewish annihilation. I think it's as simple as that.
But until what happened last month, right? Even people don't know about that. That even Israel is even supporting people in Gaza's Strip, giving them medicine, giving them energy, water and stuff, and medical health. Nobody knows about that. Nobody knows about that, right?
No, nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
They don't care to know.
And of course, on the other side, it's the goal to annihilate, to destroy Israel is only a part of. That's the sad stuff. It's Islam, right? Islam is. It's not a peace religion, or the original peace. How they claim. The whole goal is to invade the whole world, right? So it doesn't matter. Even if they will like get Israel, let's say the worst case scenario, they will like destroy Israel. This is just the beginning. This is what I try all over the planet.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to be a Jew, you have to think about this stuff. How this religion works. And Yeah, and the only goal, or the main goal,
Why can't
of
I hear
Islam
you?
is to conquer the world. You cannot hear me? I can hear
No,
you.
I can hear you. Carry on. I'm just messing with this, trying to figure out why changing. When I changed to the speakers, I can't hear you. I mean, when I changed to my headphones.
Okay.
Let's try now.
Yeah, that's the funny stuff. Like you mentioned before, when Jordan was in the West Bank.
I don't think anybody can hear anybody. What I gotta do is look down here. Hold on a sec.
I will just continue until you fix your problem. So maybe, yeah, that's the most funny stuff, because the Arabs told their brothers to get out of the area which they will conquer, in whichever war it was, right? They continually, and this is how you get to this refugees, right? But they didn't kind of welcome them. They didn't like take care of them. They put them in the camps.
Are we getting any?
And yeah,
nothing from there. Shit.
Yeah, at the moment, Sydney, I don't know if you're hearing me at all. I will try to listen for a while to YouTube. And we have like a lag of nearly 3 to 5 seconds from Discord to YouTube.
Try speaking now.
You're audible on Discord, but not on YouTube.
I'm not audible.
Oh, no. Okay, it was the 5 seconds delay. Sorry about that.
Okay. So you're coming through fine.
No, I'm still much more louder than you.
Yeah, you would be, because you're being picked up by my microphone. I can't switch Discord. I need to switch the Discord over to my headphones, and that doesn't seem to be working. I don't know why. Let me try some again. Let me just hold on a minute. I want to just try and see if I can hear anything through here.
Yeah. You just have to tell me if I have to say something.
Is that my headphones aren't working? Oh!
You didn't plug them in.
No, I had the volume on 0. Oh fuck! All right, look, it all should be working fine now. I just have to switch over the other stuff that I messed up.
These would create a lot of damage. We don't know whether how many of these were used so far and what their effects were. But it's clearly obvious that as they get closer to the Shifa hospital, there has to be
I think
some
we got it
faults.
going now.
When you go diagonal at 30 meters, you might destroy the structure.
I just stop that.
Okay. How is the sound?
No, everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. And the sound on YouTube is. And the sound on YouTube. I'm coming through fine on YouTube. I don't know how you are, because I'm not hearing you. YouTube. I'm coming through.
Well, let me.
YouTube. I don't know. I don't know how you are because I'm not hearing you. Let me what?
Well, let me.
I'll just say something so we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out which sound I'm hearing now.
Say something so. Oh, I don't know.
So,
okay, I can hear you coming through fine on YouTube, and you're coming through fine on Discord. Everything's good. What problems are you having?
No, I muted. Maybe my voice is a little bit funny on YouTube, but
I don't know.
At least we are on the. I think we are now on the same level.
All right. So now the question is: do we want to take us to the conversation level with others?
Yeah, of course. I would like to. Now we are prepared. Like, set up all the sounds.
Yeah, already. All right. So let me
Henry and all the other guys want to come in.
Right. All right. Let me throw an invite into the mix. Yes. All right. I'm going to put the invite into the chat. If I can find the chat. All right, everybody. Here is the link, the Discord link, to come on in. And
yeah, let's have a chat about the situation.
That's right.
You're I will. I'm not the boss of this Discord, but I'll say you're welcome to say.
You are a boss.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome to say whatever you want, or at least, even if you are not on the same opinion, you are welcome, because like if we are always on the same side, it could be boring.
Yeah, because Pio and I, we sort of agree. You don't need Discord. You just need to log on as guest. Click it. You log on as guest. You don't need Discord.
You can use your browser to join Discord.
Yeah, you don't need Discord. Maynard, welcome, by the way. I haven't been following that.
So you don't need to kind of install the application.
No, you don't need to install anything. You just click on the link and you come in as a guest, and that's it. It's does your browser work on your iPad, David? If your browser works, Discord is in the browser. You don't have a Discord app. You don't need a Discord application. Just click on the link.
Just try it.
And if it doesn't work, then let me know. But don't guess. Because that's what you guys are doing. You're guessing. Well, let's listen to the live show.
It's taken a heavy toll among Israeli troops.
Well, speaking of anti-tank missiles, those are also being fired from Lebanon across the northern border with Israel. Let's go to Robert Swift, who is up north by the Lebanon border. And Robert, yes, anti-tank missiles being fired there today at Israel, and of course Israel taking measures to try to see that that kind of thing doesn't happen.
If you, so you have you have an iPad. It means like some Apple stuff, but I'm sure you can use even on iPad some Chrome and try to copy the link to Chrome. Or Firefox.
Yeah, Discord will work in Chrome or Firefox or any other browser that works on Windows.
Yeah, I don't know about Safari, but I'm sure that even Apple can use Chrome.
Does anybody actually use Safari anymore?
I don't know. I just thought about this is what I remember, that this browser will be used on
I think
Mac
they're just
platform.
making excuses. They just don't want to come in because they know that they will be embarrassed.
Okay. No, he says it takes him to the Google Play Store. It's weird.
Okay, tell you what, I'm going to do a non-guest.
Or maybe we can go to your another room on Google Meet or whatever. What about that?
No. Because if something doesn't work on an iPad, then to go to another, it's the iPad problem. It's obviously it really was an old shitty iPad. But I'm gonna give a link that is not guessed that you. Let's see. Copy.
Are you dust talking now?
What's that? There you go. There you go. Try that. There you go. If that one doesn't work, you're going to be embarrassed if you come in here and spew your pro-Arab, anti-Jew, Jew-hating rhetoric.
Until now, it's anti-Chrome and anti-Discord.
Yeah. Maybe they're not technological. They know about as much about technology as they do about the Middle East. It's your work iPad or whatever that means. I don't know. Maybe your work iPad is restricted. And besides, don't use your work iPad. Use your personal iPad. This is not a work. This is not something that you join from work. Because I don't want you to be stealing time from your employer to be in Discord. That's not nice. That's not fair to your employer. Yeah. Oh boy.
I'll look up if I can get somebody else.
Let's try. Yeah, we've got to get somebody to come in here and prove them all wrong, right? Prove me wrong about what? All right. I'll set a status. How about this? Here's the status. All Arabs are Jew haters. There you go. You support the Arab, you support the Jew haters. That's right, David. it's one or the other. You either love the Arabs who want to annihilate and eliminate all the Jews on the planet, or you are on the side of good and justice by siding with the Jews in that they don't want to be annihilated and decimated from this planet. So you don't support the Arabs at all, but you're still a Jew hater. David, so what? It doesn't prove anything. You know, when when mandatory Palestine was given to the British, and at which point Britain controlled mandatory Palestine, all the region of mandatory Palestine, which is all of Israel and all of Jordan today, was designated as Palestine for the Jews, as a homeland for the Jews. At a conference in 1922, it was decided to partition Palestine, mandatory Palestine, and all the region, all the land from the river east was designated as Arab Palestine, and all the land from the river to the sea was designated as Jewish Palestine. So there is your two-state solution from 1922, right there in black and white. All the land on the west of the river is Jewish Palestine, which now is Israel, and all the land on the east of the river, or to the east of the river, is Arab Palestine, which has been designated Jordan. So Jordan is a stumbling block, because Jordan is Palestine.
Sydney, we have a guest.
Hey, Sydney.
Hey, Crescendo. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's Crescendo who's here.
Yeah, I see.
I just invited him.
Thank you. That's
Maybe he has some position on the conflict.
Yes, I'd love to hear it. Go ahead, Crescendo.
I do not whatsoever.
What do you think
Oh,
about?
you do.
What do you think about the Arabs, the Jew-hating
I think it's
Arabs?
really complicated.
Yeah, it's not complicated.
Factoring in
It's-
the birth of Palestine, ethnic. In the
Palestine, there was no
1960s.
birth of Palestine. There was no birth of Palestine.
I was talking about the people of Palestine.
There are no people of Palestine.
Uh,
Palestine is just a made-up word. There is no Palestine.
There's a region named Palestine.
It's a region. It's a
Right.
it's a province. But it's a province from the Roman
Been a
and
province
Ottoman
by
Empire.
Syria.
It's a
I
province.
remember,
It's a province from the Roman and Ottoman Empire times.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
It's not when the British took over the mandate for Palestine, it wasn't a province.
There never was a Palestine people
Never, no.
until the 1960s when they coined that. That's my understanding.
You're quite right.
Which is superficial.
1964, they coined it.
That's why I don't allow me an opinion.
Well, you either want to destroy the
just
Jews or you want to destroy the Arabs. Let's say you had a choice. Which one would you take? No, if you had a choice, maybe it's unfair, but if you had a
is
choice,
because I haven't gathered enough data to get some
I'll give you some data.
information
I'll give you some
to,
data.
to forge an
Yeah.
opinion.
All right.
That's
I'll give.
my problem with that.
Okay, I'll give you some data. Arabs are Jew haters. Arabs want to annihilate, eliminate, and unexist all Jews. They want to kill all Jews off this planet. Now, are you an Arab? Do you support the Arabs or do you support the Jews?
Well, the funny question will be: do you support the Arabs or do you are against the Jews?
Yeah, I guess that's it. I can't.
But now you joined.
I will never support anyone who's trying to kill people or to commit genocide. That's my stance.
That's what Arabs do. They want to commit genocide of all Jews. Whether it's the Arabs of Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Egypt, Gaza, the West Bank, you name it. They all want to eliminate the Jews. So this is
I can
this is the Arabs.
absolutely see how you came to that conclusion.
Like you say, you need to update your information. You need to update your knowledge.
Absolutely.
But Crescendo, you know it's in their book, right?
Mm-hmm.
The book is contradicting itself at so many levels.
Now you're
I just don't know what to make of it.
You're bumbling and
because
stumbling.
I've heard some Muslims take the really beautiful parts of the Quran and say, that's what I understand, that's what I can do, and the ugly parts I don't understand, so I don't do them.
Okay, so we all know the ugly parts. I do not know any beautiful parts of the Quran. Could you help me out?
I don't have the exact sources.
One.
Quran is talking about
just one beautiful part of the Quran, please.
I can give it to you, Sydney.
No, I'm asking Crescendo. He's the one who said it.
There are parts talking about how to behave, not to talk any gossip or any bad things behind someone's back.
That's Christian.
And to be...
That's the Jews and the Christians came up with that. So you got to tell me something from the Quran that's not in the Jewish and Christian theology.
Sydney, he just told you he has no kind of he cannot quote a verse or whatever, right?
I'm not that deep in this material.
So why did you say you said you'll take the beautiful parts or the good parts and reject the bad parts when you can't even give me an example of a good part?
It wasn't what I was saying.
What did you say?
I met Muslims who said they take the beautiful parts and follow them,
and
because they understand them,
okay,
and they not exactly reject, but because they don't understand the ugly parts, they just can't follow them.
Oh, they never heard of that.
Then when you asked them what are the beautiful parts, what did they say?
What I just told you.
Yeah, no, but you must have followed up. You must have followed up with them and said, okay, well, I know the bad parts. Everybody knows the bad parts, but give me an example of the good part. And they said what?
I just did.
No, you didn't. You mean like
I didn't quote from a verse or anything. That's
you didn't ask them. You didn't ask them. You just took it from what they said.
No.
They said there's good parts in the Quran, and you said you just agreed. You just agreed with them because you don't know that there's no good parts in the Quran.
No, that's not true. I looked them up, but I didn't care enough to memorize the exact verses.
So without recognizing it, so sorry, Crescendo, the thing, what you're thinking about, is not really true because the Quran says, talk nice to even to your enemies. Don't show them your true mind. So this is not nice.
It isn't.
But I can tell you one thing. It says that there are verses like, if you kill one guy, then it's like you're killing whole the nation, right? This is one thing which is in the Quran for sure. Okay, but they don't really go with that.
Many don't. That's right. But this is exactly what it makes the difficulty for me. It's the Quran seems to me very contradictory, and
the Quran,
Muslims,
Crescendo.
Muslims who seem to be open-hearted and nice to any religion, to any
Crescendo, think of the Quran as the Arab version of Mein Kampf.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
Okay, so it is kind of true. So now that you know that the Mein Kampf and the Quran both have the same objectives, now what do you say about Arabs?
Yeah, it remains difficult. I've actually talked to an Arab who was the first one that who said that the Islam and Allah is a dictatorship, but the most benevolent. Did I pronounce that right?
Benevolent, yeah.
Benevolent. Thank you. And
sure,
this also sounds contradictory to me, and that's one of the problems I have. I can't make head or tails from that.
The bridge, because we now just talk about Quran, but it's not why we started it. It's just because there's the correlation between the Quran and what it's happening, because this is the topic, like what's happening in the Near East and what we are supporting or not. But definitely the Quran, even if it has some good stuff in it, most of it is against every other people. So Israel is just a small piece of land they want to conquer, and the Quran is the reason, because in Gaza there is no Jews, no Christians, no secular people, at least openly, right?
There's Christians in Gaza.
Okay,
but they're Hamas Christians. They're Arabs.
Okay. Hamas Christians.
Yeah, they're Arabs. They're Arabs in Gaza, and they want the Jews. You know, the Mein Kampf wants the Jews to be destroyed. The Quran wants the Jews to be destroyed. What more proof do you want? That the Arabs hate are Jew haters, just like prevaricators are.
Oh, we have that in Germany, especially Muslims being very anti-Semitic. And
excuse me, what about Germans? Germans themselves are anti-Semitic.
Not that much.
Oh, please! What about your history?
They don't care anymore.
No, every single German in the beginning of the 20th century was an anti-Jew. I hated Jews. Every single one of them. That's why Hitler got in so easily. So to tell me that the Germans are not anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish, but Hitler was, is ridiculous. You know very well that the Jews, all the Jews, and the Polish, and the Ukrainians.
Sorry,
I have to jump in.
Okay.
Because Crescendo is not like his roots are not from Germany. Okay, so if you're
I
accusing
thought
me
you
stuff
said he
like
lives in
that,
Germany.
yeah, he like me. So
Austrian.
I'm living in Germany too, Sydney,
Right.
and
Yeah. So you
I'm a
know.
Jew. I'm a Jew. So do you tell me now that I'm a Jew hater because I'm living in Germany?
Well, it's something ridiculous. That's now you know that
Yeah,
you're being silly. You're just being silly.
Yes. No, I just wanted to clarify it.
No, I'm
So
telling you that Germans are Nazis. In my view, Germans are Nazis. But they always were, and there's no reason for them to stop. In fact, to prove that they're Nazis, they imported 1 million Jew-hating Muslims into the country. What does that show you? What does Angela Merkel? What does
I
that
can
show you?
assure
Tell you
that
about
wasn't
Angela Merkel,
the
who's a
motivation
typical
for that.
German?
They were trying to do the
They were not. They were not.
humanitarian
They knew
thing.
better. They knew better. They knew better because of their history with the Jews. That if they import a whole bunch of million Jew haters, that it's not going to go well for the Jews or for the Germans, for that matter. They knew that. I don't accept excuses.
You don't
Oh,
have
so
to.
so if you think, so Sydney, if there is a war in some places, right, and there are refugees, and their home is destroyed, you will not take them in your country, and if your country is like saying, "Oh, we are humanitarian and we help other people, blah blah blah," but we don't take them in our land, right? We don't let them escape from their countries. Are you saying now? Because in fact, even I don't like Islam, and yeah, I will still.
I will not take an
welcome
Arab. I will
some-
not take an Arab refugee into my country. No. I would not take a Muslim refugee into my country.
Your country being Israel or
What,
Canada?
whatever. I don't know. Whatever country Pio was mentioning, and also if by what Pio was saying is that basically Israel should take in all the refugees from Gaza because they're a country that is humanitarian. Is that right? Is that right there, Mr. Pio?
Yeah, Mr. Pio. Mr.
Not
Pio
right
is
now.
it will tell you like that. That Israel has the most percentage of Muslims in their country, which is not a Muslim country, right?
And
And
20-something%
and the Arab Muslim/Muslim people are quite happy being in Israel.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
The-
but
the stuff.
I
which
think you're
happened with
wrong about
Hamas-
that. By the way, there's a lot of Muslims who are Jew haters in Israel.
Oh,
Israeli Muslims. I mean, lots of them.
Yes, but they were not the guys.
Why do you think the northern Galilee Arab villages they're all restive?
I don't understand the word restive.
They're bubbling with violence.
Yes, but still, every
Anti-Jew violence.
We have still a situation like in Israel, right? But those guys, those Muslims who are living in Israel, right? Not those guys are making the attacks, right? It will be pretty easy for them to do it if it will be true, right? They are old Jew haters, and they are against Israel. It will be much more easier to make it attacks from inside, but they don't do it. Those are not the Muslims who are attacking Israel. And what I mean by that, or what I'm trying to explain, is somehow the Muslims who are living in Israel and they are part of the state, and they have the Israeli citizenship, and they can vote, and they are equal. Right?
They're not equal. They're not equal. They are not trusted. Excuse me, Pio. Israel does not trust the Arabs that live in that country, because Israel does not insist that any Arab who reaches the age of military service gets recruited into the army. Arabs are exempt from the army because of their hatred towards Israel.
It was true.
It's true today. If an Arab wants to go to the army, he can volunteer. If a Jew doesn't want to go to the army, he's got no choice. He gets conscripted.
But that's the difference. Like, it changed in the last, 20 years or something. That before that, you are completely 100% right. There were no Arabs or Muslims in the Israeli
I never
army.
said anything about them being in the army. Listen to me. I said conscription. No Arabs are conscripted into the army. Every Jew is conscripted into the army. So to say that the Arabs and the Jews are equal is bullshit. The Arabs have way more equality, have way more rights than the Jews in Israel.
I just avoided conflict of interest.
They're supposed to be Israelis. They're supposed to be. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, Jew, Muslim, Greek, whatever, Catholic, whatever. If you're an Israeli, it's like where I was born, South Africa. Every white person, no matter what their religion was conscripted into the army. No black people, only white people. In Israel, only Jews are conscripted into the army, no Arabs.
It's a whole nother situation.
It's not another situation. It's all part of the same pie.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're complaining, Sydney. I'm seeing where you're coming from, right? When you're saying, "Oh, the Arabs,
they get,
quote unquote, has more rights."
They have much better treatment in Israel than the Jews have. Yes.
And on the other side, we have now some soldiers, some battalions. I don't know how to say it in English. Some troops. Right, which are Muslim troops fighting for Israel in Israel army
because they volunteered. Yes.
So it shows you. The only thing what I want to point out, it's not about the rights. It just shows you that those Muslims who are living in Israel, Israeli citizenship, they want to be under the government of Israel because they know they have more rights.
Yeah, okay. There are a few of them who, yes, but the vast majority of them don't go to the army, don't participate in national security, nothing. They just take what they can from the country without giving anything back.
Yes, and you can see it like that. But I'm just want to point out, because Israel will not take them anyway. Because they will not trust them. But the truth is there are some of them. So it means, what I want to point out is those Arabs, those Muslims who are living in Israel, right, and are Israeli citizenship, there's a part of them who are supporting Israel because they know 100% they are better off with the democracy in Israel than living in a Muslim state.
Pio, there's a part of the Jews in Israel who don't support Israel. They're part of the Jews in Israel, Neturei Karta, for example, who do not want the Israeli state to exist. They want an Arab Palestinian state to exist.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are the crazy Jews. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the crazy Jews versus the crazy Arabs. The crazy Arabs but the crazy Arabs want Israel to survive, and they want to be part of the process. Want to be part of the country's survival, right? Those are the crazy Arabs because they volunteer.
Yeah, you can say it like that.
Right.
Yes, and then
So
we have
just
the-
like
the
there's crazy Arabs, there's crazy Jews.
and yeah, and the crazy Jews killed Yitzhak Rabin.
Exactly. There you go. Those are the zealots, the religious zealots. And I have no love for religious Jews whatsoever. In fact, I despise them. But I do not want to kill them. It's got nothing to do with their very existence. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I do not want anything to do with them. But it's not I want to kill them. But the Arabs, they don't like us. They want to kill us. Simple. Dead. Done. That's it. No. End of story. No argument.
Yeah, well, I don't do identity groups. I do people, and it's too simple for me.
Too simple? What do you mean?
What you just said. You said it's just that simple, and I don't think it's just.
It is that simple. Go to Israel, live there for a month, and you'll see how simple it is. That's another thing, is that people talk from a position of ignorance.
Absolutely. That's what I said from the beginning, and that's why I couldn't. I don't allow myself to have an opinion on that.
But I invited you here, right, Crescendo, and I talked. I told you exactly what we are talking about, right? So
You did.
you had to think about, oh, if I'm go to Sydney's channel, right, and have a talk, there will be some. I'm not just I'm just not in the audience. No, you came here. And now you're asked a question. You have to
Which I answered to my best knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, I've said, but I said Mein Kampf and the Quran have the same objectives, and that is to annihilate the Jews. Somebody said no. They laughed at me. Ha ha ha! How can you compare the Quran to Mein Kampf? Well, I absolutely can. If the objectives are the same.
Laughing.
Excuse me?
You didn't hear me laughing.
I don't know. I don't remember.
At least, what is true about Mein Kampf and the Quran, both are doing stuff in the name of God.
No.
Because Hitler.
In the name of hatred. In the name of hatred.
They claim. They claim to do that. Oh yes.
No, there's no God, so that doesn't mean it's in the name of hatred.
But when
you know very well that there's no God, but there's a hatred.
Yes.
So you cannot.
Both books claim to do things or to.
They might claim it, but that doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter. There is no God. There is no God.
That's not the topic. The topic is how those people come to their conclusions, right? And
I think doing it in the name of God is just a cop-out.
But that's
read what I posted about Hammond's razor. That's how easy I think things are.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
What was the razor? Which razor?
Hanlon's razor.
What's that?
It's in the side chat.
I use Occam's razor.
Or Hitchens razor.
I can actually explain to you what Occam's razor is without having to point you to the side chat.
Don't.
I know. I can. So if you want to explain to me what Hanlon's razor is by pointing me to the side chat, that means you don't know what it is yourself.
Just explain it to us, Mushendo. Just explain it to make it quick. Like, oh, you posted this and I posted that.
I never posted Occam's razor. I just said I could tell you what it is.
No. We want to know what's
malice, which is adequately explained by stupidity, meaning by ignorance. meaning by lack of knowledge.
What is
Those
adequate?
people don't do things because they want to be bad or anything like that. Most people do things because they are just stupid and ignorant. They don't know any better.
Yeah, but why is that
And
an
that's
excuse?
what I guess what most Muslims do too.
Mm-hmm.
They get indoctrinated by their imams and whatever. And that's just it.
So
But that's no excuse. I'm sorry, that's no excuse.
I'm not talking about an excuse. I'm talking about an explanation. Excuse and explanations are two very different things. I'm not excusing anything.
It's just saying, so what Christian is saying, the Arabs are hating Jews because they have no knowledge, they are indoctrinated, they don't know better. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Is it now if they don't know better, this is now I'm getting to the other side. Are they right to do it, or is it okay just because they don't know?
I think it's okay to talk and to eliminate ignorance. Not ignorance.
The problem is the ignorant don't listen.
Most don't, some do.
Well, we got to talk about the majority if you're talking about anything.
And I will go again back to the Quran. No, they know exactly what they're doing because it said so. And most of the Arabs are Muslims, right? And they are going with the Quran. They don't give a shit about some democratic rules.
No, we're talking about especially Sunni and Shia. But the Quranites are not that easy overwhelmed.
You mean that the Quran? What do you mean by the Quranites? You mean the Quran? Just the Quran.
Who only take the Quran, but no Sunnah and no tafsirs.
It's a lie because if you ask them, what is the name of the wives of the Prophet, right? They would say Aisha. Aisha is nowhere in the Quran, so they are lying to you.
You've had that conversation with Hakan.
Yeah.
And he gave the right answer. You admitted that.
Okay, you fill me in what's going on.
I have to admit, I've even certainly know this guy from old days on TeamSpeak.
Who?
There was one guy who claimed to be a Quranist only. And yeah, those guys are pretty nice. But still, not really.
Maybe you both have to understand. I just looked into the whole Islam, Muslim, Quran, and Sunnah and Tafsir thing for about like a year. So I just don't know jack about anything. I've met some, and most of the Sunni seem to be very fundamentalist. Fundamentalist. Thank you. And the Shia seem to be weird and disoriented, and well, That's how far I've come till now. That's it.
Do you think the people who are living in Gaza, what kind of Islam? No, how you say, I don't know. And it is maybe my answer too. But do you have an answer to this? Do you think what kind of?
I don't. I haven't looked into that. I just don't know.
But we have Shia and Sunni in Gaza. We have Shia and Sunni in Lebanon. We have Shia and Sunni in Syria, or all these countries which are surrounding Israel. And yeah, none of them have a peace treaty. And okay, the only one country is, I think, Egypt. But they still want to destroy Israel. It doesn't matter how much, what the percentages of Shia and Sunni in all those countries. They just don't want Israel to exist.
I can see where it come from, but that's where I just I can't say anything about that. I just met some German Muslims from different denominations. Do they have denominations? I don't know.
Okay.
And that's it. That's about it. But I guess it varies from nation to nation, how much they are fundamental oriented, how much they tend to be Salafi, Wahhabi, whatever, and how much they hate Israel, Jews, or whatever.
So did you met any? Okay, did you met any of those guys?
Person?
Which? No, and not personally. Like you meet on. We usually talk on Discord, right?
We do.
So is there? Did you met any Muslim who said Israel has the right to exist?
That actually never came up. I never asked.
Oh, we should talk about this on your Discord next time.
I was trying to understand what they are doing with their beliefs, with their religion, and any politics regarding Israel just never came up.
So this question we will next time. I'll be on your Discord, right? This is the question we will ask.
We should, yeah, absolutely.
And then we will see, right? Sorry about the noise.
It's okay, man.
Oh, please understand, I'm not really proud about being that ignorant, but there's just so much information to take in and to develop an opinion. I just haven't been able to do that.
It's okay. Everything is cool. So anybody in the audience, in the side chat, okay, all these guys have iPads, right?
Everybody has an iPad, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's an Apple mafia, so we see it. All right. So why there is no one who wants to join and
they're chicken, or they just don't know how to use the computers properly, which is possible.
say, okay, so let's go to the stuff we talked in the beginning, right? It doesn't matter on which side you are. So just hypothetically, you believe in Israel, and now this happened, what happened last month, right?
Mm-hmm.
What will be your
October, you mean?
what will be your solution to that? Imagine you'll be the prime minister of Israel, right? You have people who died from the attack. You can, or the other side will be, oh, Israel, who sold to the Israeli citizens since our border patrol is the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is that.
This is
Israel, because Israel was supposed to be a safe haven for all Jews.
Right.
But then the Israeli government decided that, oh, well, all those Jews along the Gazan border with Nazi Hamas don't have to be that safe. Again, that's another discussion.
So I'm just throwing stuff in it, right? One is the thing that Israel was attacked. The other thing is, what's about the safety you promised us? We have the best borders controlled by drones, cameras, whatever. And suddenly there's nothing happening when there is an attack. It's
yes,
like,
I mean that's horrific. Bad.
So my question would be like, what would you do as a Netanyahu? What would you do? Like, yeah.
I'd resign. Netanyahu should resign. He should get the fuck out of government and hang his head in shame and literally get prosecuted for that. I think he probably needs jail time for what he's done, what he's failed to do. He has made the biggest mistake just because he wanted to further himself, his own political standing. I don't think Netanyahu gives a shit about his Israelis. You know, now he got caught. Now, of course, he's all contrite. But I don't trust that asshole, not one bit.
Or what's about Mossad, right? Who claim to be one of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the best. How do you call it?
Security, spy agencies.
Yeah, spy agencies, right?
Yeah.
So this attack was not planned like 6 weeks ago, right? Because
no, it's been under planning for years.
Yes. So and there was like the Israeli security is like, oh, we don't know what to do with. We have some sounds of, oh, something is happening.
Yeah.
Or there were troops. There were troops in Gaza,
right,
which were making like military maneuvers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And nobody like paid attention to it.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a disaster.
Yeah.
But at the end of the war, Israel will tackle that issue.
Yeah, this is exactly my question. So imagine you'll be the prime minister now, right?
Okay.
What is your answer?
Resign. I'd resign.
No. Not only that, of course, Netanyahu should resign.
Yeah.
But the answer to what's happened. Are you going to say, okay, you did take some hostages. Yeah, you went into our land and killed some people. Mm, shall we now say yes? Okay, we are still for peace,
Well,
right?
well, let's talk about proportionate response. For proportionate response to be effective, and we know that the Arab Hamas came in and killed and raped and murdered 1,400 of Israelis. So a proportionate response should be for the Israeli army to be able to go into Gaza and kill and rape and murder 1,400 Gazans. Would that be a proportionate response?
Exactly the question. This is exactly the question, and so
No.
I mean,
Is that a proportional response? If that's what people want, this is what the US wants, proportional response, everything is proportional response, then how do you determine what's a proportional response if you don't do exactly the same thing to the enemy what they do to you?
but
An
the
eye
funny
for an eye. That's it.
No,
yeah,
not an eye for an, yeah, okay, an eye for an eye, if you want to put it that way. But it's
but
proportional. What is proportionate response?
yeah. So once again, Israel is not the biblical state, right? So we are not going with the eye for an eye. In
No,
fact, the Israeli
but should they?
soldiers or whatever, they are trying to go with the Geneva Convention, whatever the convention was, to not to kill the civilians, right? They're trying to keep to be civil as possible as you can be at war, right? If it's even possible, right? They are trying. This is why they warn the areas we will bomb there, go there, please leave, right? Tell the civilians, go away,
Yeah, and
right?
it's up to the civilians to leave.
Yeah, so this is the thing. What will be the response? I mean, all people, like in Germany, there are people protesting pro-Palestine. Ah, those poor people, right? Um, why there are not as many demonstrations or whatever protests for Israel,
Yeah.
which is just
Aren't there?
no, they aren't.
Okay.
We have Berlin demonstration, whatever, where you see all over the Palestinian flags, and they are hating Israel because, yeah, reasons, right? But you don't have the same amount of people who are pro-Israel, except of course the government, right? As I can remember, after the attack last month, the Prime Minister of Germany was one of the first who went to Israel and said, Chancellor, and said Israel has the right to
Retaliate.
defense. Yeah, of course. But the people on the street in Germany, I don't know if they are understanding the stuff.
Israel right now retaliates draconic. I don't know how it is justified or whether it is justified, but that's what dominates in German press. On the other hand, nobody would go public and say, no, Israelis are doing it wrong or are in the wrong.
I want to say to Sia, even I'm not the, even I've mod here and stuff, blah blah blah. It would be nice if Sydney is okay with that, they would that you will join our
You can
conversation
join,
because
but you can join. I don't mind if she joins, but to put those inflammatory bullshit fucking messages and
I don't.
accusations, she can no.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, Sia, you want to talk because you'll be like on the side of your people, right? And you'll be welcome to join the conversation. And you know me, and you know Sydney, right? So
Yeah, you can either
no,
come in
don't
here. You can
remove
come
her.
in here like a.
Don't remove her, please.
Why not? Did you? No, I don't. I don't tolerate anti Jew hatred. I don't tolerate Jew hatred from Muslims. Simple. I don't have to tolerate Jew hatred from Muslims, so I
No, you
don't.
don't need to. You don't need to. You don't need to.
That's
But
right.
you know, she'll be like
Listen, I know Sia. She
the
doesn't
only.
know. I know Sia. She doesn't have a clue about what's going on in the Middle East. She doesn't know anything. She just relies on the Muslim propaganda that's fed to her, and that's what she spreads. I know that.
Of course, Sydney, I agree with you.
Hmm.
But I don't see her too, right?
Do you want to come?
No.
If she wants to come in and chat about it, fine. Come in.
Yeah. This is so. This is what I'm saying. So if you hearing us still, please come in because you'll be the one. And as long as you are not shouting at us,
She will.
and
I know Sia. She's a zealot when it comes to anti-Jew, when it comes to Jew hatred. She's absolutely she's a Jew hater fundamentalist.
but it'll be
I don't
interesting.
tolerate, and I don't tolerate that.
Is it about Jews or about Israel?
It's about Jews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's really very difficult to differentiate what she's doing.
Oh,
She's
no.
of course
No.
pro-Palestinian, and
Yeah, but she's not pro-Palestinian. She's anti-Jew. She doesn't have a clue about Palestinians. She doesn't even know what a Palestinian is because there is no such thing as a Palestinian. They're Arabs. She's maybe pro-Arab because she's not an Arab, but she's a Muslim. Therefore, she's pro-Muslim
There
Arab.
are people who are convinced that there are Palestinians.
They can be convinced, but they can be convinced that Jesus exists as well. But he doesn't. Didn't.
That doesn't change the conviction.
Doesn't make it true, though.
For them, it does.
Yeah, but they're living in a delusion. Why should I accept their delusion?
You don't have to, but as long as they are consistent in their belief system, you can only take that to make a point.
And the thing is, if Sia will come in here and will be convinced of their opinion, and we can talk. This is what my goal, right? In fact, I want to have Sia in it here, right? But if it will be end up like shouting stuff and accusing stuff,
No one's going to be doing that.
You you called me a Nazi.
Oh, come
Well,
on.
when did I call you a Nazi? When you exhibited Nazi tendencies? Oh, I'm so sorry. Listen. It's a fact that Nazis and Muslims have the same objective, and that's to kill the Jews. And I know that Sia is a very, very big believer in her Quran. She loves her Quran, and she loves her Jew-hating, Jew-killing Quran.
Okay.
So yeah, Crescendo, we have a history with Sia.
Yeah.
Right? So we know her for more than
usual
some years.
Sia is actually a coward. She is. This is my experience with her. She's a coward. As long as she can spread her lies, that's fine. But if you try to have a discussion about it, it's not fine. She doesn't want to listen. She saw what she saw, whatever that means, and that's the end of the story. So I don't tolerate Jew haters anymore.
Okay. But I thought it'll be at least interesting if she would join, at least for 5 seconds, the call, right?
So I'm not stopping her.
So please, Sia, if you're still hearing me, I mean, you know me, you know Sid.
I don't think she's on anymore.
Okay.
Are you on another voice channel with her? Or
No, just in the side chat there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can appeal for the Jew hater Sia to come online as much as you want, but she's a coward, just like all Muslims are, and she won't. So all Muslims, what did I say? All Arabs are Nazis. All Muslims are Jew haters. And I don't think that I don't think I'm exaggerating at all. I really don't.
Of course, it's your channel, Sydney. But at least...
What's it got into do with being my channel? Everybody's got their own...
You have to write, because I wouldn't have blocked her for 300 seconds. I would just answer her stupid stuff.
Well, she didn't write that message to you. She wrote it to me.
Okay.
And I don't tolerate.
I wasn't able to read it. I just saw...
Yeah, well, that's right. I got rid of it right away because it was very, very inflammatory. In fact, YouTube could block her for that message. I could report that message. And then YouTube can block her. But I don't want to get involved with that.
But it's funny that she found us.
Yeah.
Because
it's not funny. She's always watching.
The thing was also, I was in fact on her YouTube channel today. I don't know why. It's
she's back on YouTube.
Yes, and she made the video like the West is supporting the genocide in Palestine.
Well, the genocide. Firstly, there's no Palestine, so there's obviously no genocide. End of story. This is how ignorant she is. She doesn't even know what she's talking about when she says Palestine. Is Gaza Palestine? Since when? Since when was Gaza ever Palestine? What is she talking about? You know, the world needs to wake up and realize that when it comes to the Israel's war of existence, you're either for Israel's existence or you're against Israel's existence. Now, Sia would never come out and say she's for Israel's existence because she hates Jews. And I don't see why I have to, walk on eggshells around that. And I refuse.
But on the other side, she was the only one who has no iPad.
I don't care.
Was able to join.
Why would you need an iPad?
No, the guy. So we have several guys who try to join the conversation, and they say they have an iPad and they don't. They are not able to join our conversation.
Yeah.
You can have Discord on iPads too.
Well, this is what we told them too, but they are still not able to join.
I'm gonna post Sia's message privately to you, okay? This is what she said. There you go. That's what she said.
Yeah,
See?
nice. I mean, yeah. But that's the.
You want to fill me in?
It's like the opposite opinion.
So
You
what?
know.
It's not. It's an accusation. It's not an opinion.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to be like. I don't want to be like. Because I'm going to chats with people who are the opposite of my opinion, right? And they throw at me those accusations all the time, and I don't care because it's not true. So you have somebody there, and it's exactly like you'll say every German is a Nazi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what she said about you. Why don't you like?
Yeah, but I have a basis for saying that.
No, you don't.
It doesn't matter if he has a basis or not. It's about.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What do you mean? No, I don't. I say I do, and you say no, I don't. Is that the way it works? Okay.
Crescendo. In 5 seconds, you'll be away.
I'm happy.
No, because that's that. I historically all Germans are Nazis. Okay. Fact.
A whole lot.
Fact.
Of Germans who helped Jews to escape.
Oh, Pauline.
My family was one of them.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your service.
You're very welcome.
If your family hadn't voted for Hitler, they wouldn't have needed to.
I don't know whether they voted.
I guarantee you they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They were about 30%, which were enough at the time.
Right.
So
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. All of Germany is Nazi.
Wow.
Angela Merkel is Nazi. She invited all those Muslims in. And she's your typical German Frau.
No, she's not. She's not even a skilled chancellor or were for a time.
I don't know, man. She just reminds me of an.
Germans are exactly one thing: very, very scared of being accused, being Nazi or anti-Semitic or anti-Jew.
Well, then fix it. Germans, fix it.
Oh, they do.
You can't say you're scared of being called an anti-Jew and then invite a million fucking Jew-hating Muslims into your country.
Dedicated police surroundings for every synagogue in Germany that I've seen so far. And,
it doesn't matter. There's still a million fucking Jew-hating Muslims in Germany.
That will be not a few millions. No.
I said a million. I didn't say a few million.
Excuse me. I misheard.
It's okay.
Okay. I will give you that. Let there
you.
be a million from about 80-something million. Okay. Including the Muslims. There you go.
See, what are you doing? Statistics now?
Mm-hmm.
You're using statistics to argue for reality, for facts on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it doesn't fly. No one's going to accept that argument. An argument from statistics. No one.
We do all the time.
No, we don't. I don't. I don't know anybody
You
else who
don't.
does. Only Jew haters do that.
We as a species do all the time.
Jew haters
We
do
have
it.
to.
Only Jew haters do it. No one else.
You're calling me a Jew hater?
Well, you
Please-
seem to be on the
please don't.
fence. I'd have to say yeah.
Oh, please don't, because I'm not.
Yes, you are. You support Jew-hating Muslims and Jew-hating
No, I
Arabs.
Don't.
Yes, you do. You just said you didn't have an opinion.
So because I'm not with you, I'm against you.
Pretty
Is that
much.
what you're saying?
Yes, thank you. Now you get it.
Don't.
Now you
No.
get it.
That's how W. Bush argued. Come on.
No, he wasn't.
You have
He
to be
wasn't.
better than
He
that.
wasn't in an
You
existential.
just have to be.
He wasn't in an existential fight for his existence. Like I am, like PO is.
That's how they made it seem.
Nonsense. There's no such thing as magic.
Crescendo. Let's go back to the Nazi regime.
Mm-hmm.
There were some court decisions or decisions were made, right? And the Nazi party, when they asked the people, should we kill those guys, right? There were several people who were for it, and the majority said,
Yeah,
we say
whatever.
nothing. Yes, and they were counted as, oh, those guys who say nothing, they agree with us. This is exactly what Sydney is trying to explain to you. Oh, I have no opinion on that. Okay.
I'm not a Jew, so
you're-
if you're killing all the Jews, it doesn't affect me.
Right. So
Right.
so if you say I don't have an opinion, you are
Oh
agreeing
no,
with this
I
stuff.
told you my stance on that.
But this is the thing. This is why he's telling you or accusing you to being Nazi. Because if you say, "Oh, I have no opinion on that," you are agreeing with those guys who are kind of saying, "Yeah, let's kill the Jews."
I said I haven't had enough data to get some information to forge an opinion. That's what I said. And I also
Yeah,
said,
but that's
I'm
not
proud of that,
that's not
but
an
it
excuse.
seems to be. I'm not excusing anything.
You
That's
just
a
said you don't have
very-
enough information. What's stopping you
Yeah,
from
but-
getting the information? You're an adult.
What I just said. It's darn complicated.
It's not. The information makes it a lot simpler once you get it. To say you don't have the information is just a cop out. If you don't have the information, get the information, educate yourself, then come and talk. But to come into this conversation and say, I don't have the information, I don't have an opinion, I don't have this, I don't have that, it's really pointless. You're not contributing anything to the discussion. And-
Sydney, I have to be away from keyboard for 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'll be back soon. Okay.
If you've watched in Germany, if you've watched 1 million Jew-hating Muslims come into the country and not integrate into the German society, not accept German values, not accept Western values. You've watched that. You've watched that for since I don't know how long.
Decades,
For
yeah.
10 years. Or
More
whenever,
than 10 years.
or whenever they started coming in. I don't know. But you've watched it. Long time.
Some 30 years now. Yeah.
A long time you've watched it. And you haven't formed an opinion? I don't believe that.
Not about them being anti-Semitic.
It's right in front of your face.
I don't think so. No.
Well, then you're ignorant, willfully ignorant, and you're not watching.
Absolutely not.
Then how can you not form an opinion when all the facts are in front of your face? I don't get it.
Just because I don't do identity groups, I do individuals.
Well, you know what? That's that doesn't sound normal. It doesn't sound like it makes any sense because
Never claimed to be. Maybe Pio told you, maybe he didn't. I'm autistic. I'm
so am I.
Pardon?
So am I. Big deal.
No, not a big deal. But that may explain why I'm hesitant to form an opinion. Because there are so many data, so many informations, and I have problems to sort things out and to build an opinion.
Well, you know, I hope you work on it and good luck.
Thank you.
I just don't understand how you can see facts staring you right in the face. It's in the news, it's on the internet, it's everywhere. About what the Jew-hating Muslims and Arabs have done on October 7th. You have no opinion on October the 7th.
Just doesn't cut it.
Excuse me, my friend.
We
I'm talking to you.
We just found out you meant a million or so Germans are Nazi.
No, I said a million. I said you got a million Jew-hating Muslims imported into your country by Nazi Angela Merkel.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is
I don't think
what's the problem?
we can. No, to call Angela Merkel a Nazi just doesn't cut it either.
By importing a million Jew-hating Muslims is not Nazi?
Yes.
What is it?
Doing the
humanitarian? Is it humanitarian? Is it humanitarian to let a million fucking Jew-hating Muslims into your country?
Yes.
That's not humanitarian. It's not at all. It's Nazi humanitarian.
Being stupid as fuck is not humanitarian. Absolutely agree.
There's nothing stupid about it. It was willful.
It is.
It was planned. She knew. She knows that Muslims hate Jews. She knows very well. She knew very well.
Opposed to letting any asylums or refugees in. They oppose.
No, they didn't. Who opposed?
Most Germans.
Okay, whatever you say. Then are you saying that what's her name, Angela Merkel was a dictator?
No.
So then
she was just stupid as fuck.
Yeah, but why did the political echelon let it happen?
Because they are stupid as fuck too.
Well, if you know your history very well, you'll know that Nazis are stupid as fuck from the 30s and 40s. So
You don't have
It
to
all
be
makes sense
Nazi to
now.
be
It
stupid.
all makes sense to
You
me.
can be a Muslim, you can be Jewish, you can be Hindu, you can be Indonesian, you can be Japanese. Pick.
So, what do you think about what's happening in the United Kingdom with the Jew hatred and all those pro-Palestinian Palestine from the river to the sea? Doesn't that concern you?
I have no clue what's happening in the UK right now.
Well, I can't force you to watch the news. I can't force you to keep up with current events.
We don't have any reliable news in Germany. That's my opinion. And there are some papers that struggle telling what it is like, what it's like, and well, even North American press is not they are all opinionated. So if I try to get news, I would always go to the DPA, Deutsche Presseagentur, or something like AP, Associated Press. But the news stations, they all follow an agenda, and especially the Germans always try to teach and to educate you in a way that makes you cringe.
You mean the older press stations are biased? This is the word you are searching for.
They're biased, they're opinionated, yeah. They all try to educate you in some political correctness idea, and try to give you some morality with their with their news.
So there's nothing you will say that there's nothing that you will say that will be a comfort to listen to by any Jew, and certainly not me. I haven't gotten comfort from anything you've said, other than you don't mind if the Jews get killed, and you don't mind Jew hatred around the world. You don't mind any of that. That's fine. Because you have no opinion, and because you don't have any information, blah blah blah. I think you should take a stand. What do you say?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't think that you should take a stand?
That's what he said.
I will form an opinion when I'm ready.
Well, how long do you need? It's been 3 weeks. It's the October 7th massacre. So how long do you need? Do you not know what happened on October 7th? Do you not care? Just because it was Jews that were abducted and taken as hostages, nobody gives a fuck?
Have an idea?
Yeah, you don't have a clue. What happened on October 7th, do you?
Obviously not.
Obviously not. That's your ignorance showing, not anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the kind of person that will say nothing and all until they come for you. Once they come for you, you're going to cry.
You should be better than this
I'm
cheap
sure.
polemic.
No, Crescendo, I'm sure that you know about this. That when they came from the Jews, I didn't do anything because I
Don't
was
have
not
her.
a
Yeah,
Jew.
no.
You know this thing. Right?
Yeah, there's that saying. They came for the Christians or whatever it is. I didn't. I'm not a Christian. They came for the Jews. I'm not a Jew. They came for the atheists. I'm not an
Just
atheist.
you, and now you're just continuing that. I even told you the fucking source. What's wrong with you?
Relax. Don't get all upset.
So you know the source, right? So you know. So you and I think because you're well read and stuff. Crescendo. So you know the story. So in the picture of that, just which happened in history, right? So it's kind of when you're yeah, I know, and I know I'm putting you in a corner, right? But it's because you are read and you know the stuff.
I'm not that well read.
Oh, you are.
No, he's not.
No, he is.
No, he's not. He's
hiding it.
he's pretending not to be well read. Oh, okay. So he's just being devil's advocate. Is that right? You got me. You got me. But there's another Jew hater, Nazi in the chat there, Sebastian Herner.
No, it's not.
Yeah, listen to what he's posting there. He's
Sebastian
He's
Herner?
denying that Merkel imported 1 million Jew haters into the country. He's denying that.
Oh, well, let me read it first. Didn't the Jew-hating Muslims come out?
Was ist das Kedo ist, oder?
That doesn't
I
make
don't know.
sense, that one.
Come out to the other parts of the world where they are now.
No, it doesn't make sense. Let me read the
fewer
next one.
Jew-hating Muslims?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's just funny. You said he has nothing to say that comforts. Do you? I cannot. Do you something? Do you? Where is it? Comfort from calling Merkel a Nazi. She didn't deliberately produce Nazis.
Yes, she did. She imported Nazis. She didn't produce them. She imported them. Well, you make your point, Sebastian, and I take what I see. You say she didn't deliberately produce Nazis? Well, she did. She deliberately imported Jew haters, which Nazis are. Jew haters.
What are you referring to?
The chat.
Yeah.
The YouTube chat.
The live
Sorry.
chat. The
YouTube chat.
YouTube chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we live on YouTube? I didn't know that.
Oh, I told you.
Oh no.
Oh no! Now you can say, "Oh, I love the Jews." No, I'm just kidding. I love the Jews.
No, now that you mention it, Jews. Always try to be one.
That's funny.
Got rid of my foreskin.
Listen, when it comes to foreskin and Judaism, that's where I got something to say.
Yeah. Now you'll see the other.
You want mine?
No,
now
everybody
you'll see
should
the
keep the
opposite.
foreskin. There's no reason for foreskins to be removed. And if there's any Jew hatred around the world, for any reason, it's because maybe it should be because of the circumcision, because Jews genitally mutilate, or Jews mutilate the genitals of their little boys. That is something to be hated, but nobody ever mentions that. They just mention Jews because of the finance and whatever, and take over the world and all this crap. You want to hate Jews for circumcision, for genital mutilation? I'm all with you. I hate that as well. But that's not hating Jews more, it's hating the Jewish religion. Or a part of the Jewish religion. A significant part of the Jewish religion. I hate that. And I want that to stop. But that doesn't stop Jew haters from killing Jews who are circumcised and Jews who are uncircumcised. They'll just kill them all. And there, you want to talk about that? We can do that. I don't mind, because that's a legitimate. It's a legitimate reason to oppose the Jews in
the Jewish religion.
Well, it's, you know what it is. It's the acceptance of the genital mutilation by all Jews, whether they're religious or non-religious. Is what bothers me about the Jews, is that they accept genital mutilation as okay. That's what the religion does to the brain.
Exactly. Religion poisons everything.
Religion poisons everything. So leave us alone. You hear that, Nazis? Leave us alone. You hear that, Muslims? Arabs? Fuck off. Leave us alone.
But now you have some Muslim friends who say, oh, why? Circumcision is a great stuff.
I don't have Muslim friends.
Oh, I'm just saying it.
Yeah, well, I don't. Don't spread nasty rumors that I have Muslim friends. Because a Muslim essentially represents the Quranic view. And the Quranic view is to kill the Jew.
One question, Sydney.
Yeah.
So, are the... this will be difficult.
Yeah.
This one will be difficult.
Go for it.
So, we two, at least two of us, are representing the Jewish opinion. And now we are against circumcision, both of us.
I've always been against circumcision.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, both of us are against circumcision.
Yeah.
So it means that we are not quite going with the flow. We are kind of revolutionarily anti-Jewish traditions guys.
I went to a circumcision once. It was my nephew's circumcision. And the rabbi, before he performed the circumcision, he got everybody to listen. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that the ceremony of Brit Milah, of circumcision, is performed for no other reason than the covenant between God and the Jew. The circumcision is to seal the covenant between that little baby and God as a Jew. And that's it. There's no other reason. It's just purely for religion. He said that. This was a Chabad rabbi, Lubavitch rabbi.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And yet, non-Lubavitch Jews still accept it, and they still mutilate their baby sons or baby boys' genitals for religious reasons. That is absurd. That is barbaric, and it's unacceptable. It should be a human right. It should be a human rights violation.
But what it means in the nutshell, right? We both identifying as a Jews, right? We are both for Israel, but still we are against some stuff. Don't you think that there are some Muslims which are identifying themselves as a Muslims, and maybe some of them are against destroying Israel? Is it possible
Well,
that there are
it's only possible if you hear it from Muslims who are against destroying Israel. Where are they? Where are the voices? Where are they? Nowhere. There's not one of them are speaking up. This is a planet with 8 billion people on it. And am I the only one who's going to speak up?
To be fair, I spoke to a Palestinian guys on Free for Talk or whatever it was, and he was a kind of Palestinian. I wouldn't say one guy from the politics or whatever, but he was representing some kind of communities or whatever. And we were talking about what could be the solution to make peace. And I told him that I'll be like for the borders from 1948, right? And if it will be possible that both sides, no, if the Muslims will accept, because the Jews accept it anyway, right? If the Muslims will accept it, and then there will be a real peace, right? This will be kind of my solution. And he was admitting, or he was telling me that, yes, this is my solution too. So now you have some kind, maybe you didn't meet any one of them, but I did, some of kind of representatives of those people who agree, no, I don't want war, I want peace, and I will agree with you on this topic, and I'm fighting for it. So now I would say not all Muslims are, even it's in their book, because it is there is no question about that.
It's like saying not all Nazis hate Jews.
Yeah, but shouldn't we like look up?
Are there Nazis? Is there one
them?
Nazi who doesn't hate a Jew? Doesn't hate Jews? One?
They don't have to. No.
Have you ever heard of one? Have you ever heard one or read about one or anything?
Absolutely.
Not one.
Maybe you haven't. I did.
Yeah. You relay that story to me.
The German fascism and Nazism is bound to Blut und Boden.
Blood and ground.
Blood and soil.
No, it's blood and soil, yeah.
So what's that proof?
They just are, they are very focused on that.
I understand that, on the soil. But there's no
So
Jews on the soil if they're all being
everything
killed.
from outside that blood and soil item just makes them shiver and want to go to war. Jews are just a side effect.
But they're people.
Not to them.
And you accept that. You accept it as a legitimate reason for them
No.
to just kill the Jews. They just
No, absolutely not.
It's just a side effect.
Mhm.
Well, doesn't look like the Jew hatred's going to end anytime soon, Pio.
I'm sorry, I'm just a man. I'm just typing something.
Hating Jews is just was instrumental, still is. But there is no need to really hate Jews.
Yeah, okay, but there's a difference between hating Jews.
Hate Jews just as good as they can hate Muslims, which they do, or some French people. You pick.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Say it again, Crescendo.
Look, the English hate the French, say, for example. But the English do not want every Frenchman to be annihilated and killed and France to disappear off the map. Unlike the Nazis, who hate the Jews, who love their land, and who don't want Jews on their land.
Or any other people.
I didn't read that in Mein Kampf. In fact, I have Mein Kampf right here. If you could point to me where it says other people besides Jews. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here's my copy of Mein Kampf. Right? Now tell me where it says in this book that other people as well besides Jews.
Do you really think that Mein Kampf is still what modern, what neo-Nazis?
Yes, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay.
But I want you show me where in this book it says
no,
it
we're
says
talking
anything but
about
Jews.
ignorance, but of yours.
I have the book.
Time.
I got the book. I read the book.
Yeah, sure.
But nowhere does it say that I remember or recall that it's saying that the hatred is to be against anyone but the Jews.
Do you really think that the majority of Nazis in Germany did read Mein Kampf?
What? What about them?
Do
Oh,
you?
shit. I just disconnected my fucking headphones. Sorry, I missed that. What do you?
But he asked you if if the majority of Germans really
Of Nazis. I heard the majority of Nazis, but I didn't hear anything after that.
Yeah. He asked you if the majority of the Nazis really read Mein Kampf. But this is the thing.
Yes, they had to read Mein Kampf because that's why Hitler became so fucking rich. Is because everybody had to buy a copy of Mein Kampf
Most
in the
of them
30s.
are dead who read
In
it.
the 30s, that's what happened.
Buying doesn't mean reading.
They-
This is exactly what the Muslims are doing.
Don't tell me they didn't read it. They all read it, especially the kids. I mean, the kids were
they didn't.
were indoctrinated with Mein Kampf, so they read it.
Okay,
Just
no,
like
now you're saying two different things. You're saying they were indoctrinated with it, meaning kind of they could recite
no,
what's in the book.
that's
Okay.
that's your interpretation of what it means.
Some
I'm saying to
pig
you
out
that not only
racist.
were the kids indoctrinated, but the parents were indoctrinated, and they passed it along to their children.
Don't
That's
jump.
what Nazis did.
Don't jump.
I'm not jumping.
Now you are. Because the first argument was that the kids knew about that. Yeah, of course. And I will. So, parts of that they could recite. They knew exactly what it was. Do they know everything?
Tell me, tell me
question it.
one passage in here that the Germans were able to recite. Show me one passage.
Oh God, the passage will be kill the Jews.
Yeah, but
They are the worst of the.
Okay,
the
so
thing.
okay, good enough. So it's kill the Jews. Okay, so they go home and they tell their parents, "Oh, look what I learned at school today. Kill the Jews." And you think the parents said, "No, that's wrong. The school system is teaching you wrong." Bullshit. The parents, yes, kill the Jews, so that the children were emboldened.
So you got that from how many Germans?
All
Directly?
Germans are Nazis.
No,
Prove me
answer my
wrong.
question.
Prove me wrong.
Answer my question.
Cool, prove me wrong. What's
I'm
your
a
question? Sorry,
German.
what was your question?
Okay, Sydney, here's your disproof. It's funny. I'm a
Okay.
German. I'm
You're
considering
not a
myself as
German, dude. You're a Jewish Pole.
No, I'm not considering as a Pole. I'm born in Poland, but it doesn't mean that I consider myself
Where were
as a Pole.
where were your parents born?
In Poland.
Where were your grandparents born?
I cannot tell you that because most of them were gassed in Auschwitz. Oh.
No, I didn't ask you where they were gassed. I asked you where they were born. Your grandparents.
Yeah, this is the thing.
They were born in Poland. And if they were gassed in Auschwitz...
I don't know about that.
And if they were gassed in Auschwitz, they were gassed in Poland.
Yes, but maybe they escaped or moved from Israel because there was another war or whatever to Poland, right?
Israel didn't exist. Israel didn't exist before the war.
What I mean, maybe they moved. Okay, another story. I tested my genes, right? And they tell me I'm a Mizrahi Jew from Northeast Africa, right?
Okay.
Woohoo, right? So now I'm not from Poland. Okay, there were some relatives who went into Poland, right?
Sure, all right.
But I cannot ask them because they are not existing. And now you are saying me, oh, you are Polish because your mother was
because
born in Poland.
Firstly, you were born in Poland. That makes you Polish.
Okay.
Forget about your mother. You are Polish.
Yes, but I'm not.
But he identifies as a German.
Right. So I'm living in a country.
Okay, well, I'm South African and I identify as a screwdriver.
No. Sydney, you're telling me I'm a Nazi.
I never said you're a Nazi.
Oh,
you're a Jew. You're a Jew.
You are, yeah. Doesn't matter. I'm identifying.
You can't be a Jew and a Nazi. I never ever said that the Jews and Nazis are the same thing.
But you said, but if you ask me what I'm identifying myself as, I'm saying,
I didn't ask you what you identify yourself as. See?
But
you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't ask you that.
I'm telling you, I'm a Jew and I'm a German. So, and as because you said,
you're not a Nazi German. You're just a Jewish German. You're a German Jew.
Are you telling me? There are Germans who are not Nazis?
No, I'm telling you these Jews. Jews are not Nazis.
Just give in. You hate yourself.
Yes.
No, you're making a drunken argument.
Here we go.
No, he's not.
That's what I hear.
The thing is, you call old.
I'm half Austrian, half Indian. What do you want to make of that?
You are a mutt. You're a Mischling.
Are we
You're
talking
a Mischling.
Harry Potter right now?
No,
what?
It says Mischling.
Isn't that a word? I thought it was.
No, it's not a Mischling in English, but he's understanding Mischling because it's a German word.
It is.
Listen, Henry, I just want to go back to the chat. Henry. Sydney called me a Jew-hating Nazi because he won't side with Israel in the conflict. So in other words, Henry, you accept that the massacre and the atrocities that were committed by the Arabs on October the 7th are quite fine. You support those. You don't support Israel in their right not to have had that happen, but you absolutely accept and support that the Arabs and the Nazis from Gaza were committing those atrocities is fine, not a problem. Well, sir, I do not concur. Sebastian Herner says, I'm German and I don't hate Jews. evidence. I talk to Pio almost every evening in a polite manner. Calling every German a Nazi makes you a racist. Okay, you know what? Every German is a Nazi, and I'm a racist. There you go.
Stop being a racist.
No, I'm gonna be a racist. I will be a racist. Because if the only way I can be listened to by saying that all Germans are Nazis is if I'm a racist, then fine, I'm a racist. There you go. Done. And you know what? You show me one person on this planet who's not a racist. And well, you can't.
Oh, now we are doing because the majority. Oh,
everybody's a Nazi. Listen.
Oh, okay.
I come from South. Listen to me. I come from South Africa, and everybody hates everybody.
There is no problem with it.
I come from South Africa, where everybody hates everybody, and I know, and I've had friends from India, where everybody hates everybody in India, and I know in Asia that the Chinese and the Vietnamese don't like each other, and I know that the Chinese and anybody don't like each other, and that's racist, no? But only me. I'm the only racist, and I'm the only one who's racist, and that's bad. Oh, that's bad.
No. It was the opposite, Sydney. You said those guys are racist and Nazis, and now you're telling me.
No,
and now you're telling
I'm
us,
I'm the racist.
Hates everybody. If
I'm the
everybody
racist.
hates everybody, there is no problem because
you're not listening. You're not listening. I'm the racist, but so is everybody else.
This is exactly what I said.
Everybody's a racist. Everybody's a racist in some way or another. You know, covertly, overtly, whatever. Everybody's a racist. And don't tell me that the Chinese aren't racist. Don't tell me that the Arabs aren't racist. Don't tell me that the Indians aren't racist.
That's why I don't do identity groups or identity politics.
It's got nothing to do with politics.
But some, okay.
I just think that the atrocities that were committed on October the 7th by the Arabs on the Jews crossed a major red line. And if you support that, and if you don't think Israel has a right to defend herself against this, then you're a Jew hater, in my opinion.
So okay. So I will go against it because you have like two different points in that. On the one side, you say everybody's a racist, and I will not. And you said like 2 minutes before that if the English people hate the French people, it's also racism, but
of course it's racism.
They don't want to. They don't want. No, that's not racism. That's stupidity.
No,
racism is something.
Oh, now you're defining racism. I see.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and so you got to define it for me.
Of course, that's what I'm trying to do. So let's face it, what I understand racism, and what I agree with you, is if you want to destroy the other nation, took it out of the planet, commit genocide, whatever, right? Not whatever exactly this thing. If I'm hating, or if I'm making, because I'm not really hating, but I'm making jokes about the English people, I'm making jokes about the French people, right? That's not racism. That's just fun stuff.
Exactly. It's benign. It's fairly benign.
If I will want to the English people or the French people be out of this planet, that's another thing.
Exactly.
This is where
Exactly. That's where the Jews are different from everybody else. Sure, people hate the Jews and Jews hate others, whatever. But when it comes to the overt proclamation by the Arabs that the Jews have no place on this planet, then I have to take a stand.
Yes, but I want to call you out on the stuff you said like 3 minutes ago. Oh, everybody is a racist.
Everybody is a racist. Yes, yeah. I'll stand by that. I'll stand by that.
But like now you said, oh, if they don't want to me white up, it's not. You agreed to me. It's just.
Okay, everybody's a racist. That's the first point. Now, what's the second one?
No, it's not. According to your
point?
own argumentation, right? It's not. Everybody is kind of is fearing the other guys, so they make fun of them, make jokes of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Blah,
Now
blah, blah.
that's not genocidal.
Of course. So that's
Jew
not
hatred.
racism.
Jew hatred is genocidal.
If it is,
and any other isn't.
It isn't, because the facts on the ground show that nobody wants to kill anybody. They hate them. They're racist against them, but they don't want to kill them. When it comes to the Jews, the Arabs want to kill them. Simple. And the Nazis want to kill them. Simple. There's difference.
Okay.
Jews in Nazi Germany just were scapegoats. Why can't you see that?
Because the Germans hated Jews. The Germans were Jew haters. Every German was a Jew hater. When I say every, obviously not. There's never 100%, but for all intents and purposes, yeah.
This is politely spoken,
No.
juvenile.
No, this is the other thing about the Jews, is that not only the Germans hated Jews, all people hate Jews. Yeah. And if you look at the history, that's true. This is why we have the Israel state. Because
of Germany, we have Israel. Because of
Not only
Nazis, because of Hitler, we have Israel.
Yeah. Hitler was our greatest guy who will lead us to have the state.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we should worship him.
And now, the Arabs want to take it away.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me that the Arabs are good people.
Nobody did.
No, exactly. Yeah. Nobody will. Because the Arabs are not good people. The Arabs are hateful. They refuse to integrate. They refuse to assimilate. And they refuse to stop the hate. So there you go. I have a right to stand up for my very existence.
You do.
And I am. I don't care what the trolls and the haters in the side chat in the live chat are saying. It doesn't mean anything. It just shows that they're idiots.
That's the point. You are going with some truths, right? And you're generalizing it. Yes, so I will go with you. Like every time you say that.
Let me tell Sebastian.
95% of the Muslims want to go the Jews away because they are in their religion. But to say all of them is too much. Now we say, yeah, what makes the 5% a difference, right? And this is exactly what it means when you say, oh, Germans are Jew haters. No, there is some percentage in there.
Okay, well, you got to be a little bit forgiving. When somebody says all, it's not 100%, right? All doesn't really mean 100% necessarily. Like you say, It's not, and I even said it previously. It's not 100%. I agree, but for the most part, it's all. Okay, for the negligible minority that is not it doesn't conform. That's again negligible. So I'll stick with the vast majority. The vast majority.
How many Germans
The
gave
vast
you
majority
this impression?
the vast majority of Nazis, the vast majority of Arabs, and the vast majority of Muslims hate Jews.
How many Germans did you meet who gave you that impression?
Excuse me?
How many Germans did you meet that gave you that impression?
Okay, I'll give you an example. When I was just out of high school and I was in first year university, there was a guy there from Germany who was like an exchange. You know, he came to study in South Africa. And we were sitting in the cafeteria one day. This German says, "What is this? What is this? What is this?" This German says, "What is this?" Nobody knows. "What is this?" He says, "This is a dead Jew. Because if a Jew was alive, he'd be doing this." All right, there. That's German.
They were some
That's
60
German.
million. Okay.
And that's German in the 70s. This is German hatred of Jews.
One
Okay, and this guy
from
was my
60
age.
million.
This guy was my age. He wasn't born during the war. He wasn't born before the war. He was born after the war.
I've got that.
And wherever he got his Jew hatred from his parents, from his education, from wherever, it was a holdover from the Jew hatred from his parents and his grandparents.
One from 60 million. Go ahead.
You asked me.
Yeah.
You asked me.
How many did you meet?
You
One?
asked me. I answered
Did you
you,
meet
and it's not acceptable
one?
for you. Then don't
And that's
ask
it?
me if what I'm going to say is never going to be acceptable.
You met one?
Stop,
and
don't
that's
make
it?
excuses. Don't make excuses.
You met one, that's it?
Don't make excuses. I just gave you one example. I gave you one example, and you jumped to a conclusion that all I met is one.
Nope. I asked you, how many did you meet?
Every single German I met
How many?
is a Jew hater. I was in
How
Munich,
many?
in Oktoberfest, and I had my Star of David on, and I'm sitting there on this table, and everybody's drinking and dancing and blah blah blah, and this one guy across the table with he's got a whole bunch of people with him. He's looking at me and he says, "That is Judah," and everybody's looking and laughing. So don't fucking tell me that I have no experience of German hatred towards Jews. Not outside of Germany by Germans, and
so you met
inside
another,
of Germany
okay?
by Germans. So let's just move on to something else.
So now we have two of about 60
Oh,
million
for fuck's
at the
sake!
time.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Stop it! Stop being childish. Now
I'm
you're
the
just
one
being an
childish.
absolute child.
Be
Yes, you are.
serious.
You're being a little child. Stop it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not the one who's oversimplifying everything.
I said move on. Next one. Move on to your next slander. No, your next accusation.
You're accusing me of slandering. Okay.
Listen, you don't know anything about slander because you don't have an opinion. You don't have information. As if that's the problem of everybody else, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you're just being a troll.
I'm the one.
Which is
being
fine.
controlled.
Which is fine. Trolling is allowed. I mean, I get trolled. I troll. That's fine. But somebody said something in the chat here, Henry said Israel has aggravated the situation greatly. Okay, so what happened was the Arabs from Gaza went into Israel, committed horrific murders, rapes. They tied people up and they burnt them to death. They 1,400 of them, and they took hostages from the area, 240 of them, into the Arab tunnels. Do you have any idea what's going on with them today, right now? Do you care? Do you give a shit what's going on with these hostages that were taken against their will? But you say Israel has exacerbated the problem by going after the hostages, by trying to save them? See, this is ignorance, Henry. It's better that you say nothing than show how ignorant you are.
Even I know somebody, like not directly, like I have a not girlfriend is the wrong word, like a girl which I know since I was 16. She was they have a children, and she was there was like a festival near Gaza. I'm sure you watched the news, right? So there was like a peace festival, and yeah, and the Hamas went there and took hostages, and so the daughter, she was like 20, 21. So for 4 days we didn't have any information about her, and after 4 days she was found dead, right? But she was taken from the festival into the other territories, and I'm sure they didn't play football with her or whatever, right? Yeah, and now we found her. So it's like every or majority of people, even they are not living in Israel, majority of the Jews have somebody they know they were killed there, because the land is not that big, right? I always don't understand how the people from outside are thinking that Israel is a big area. No, it's not, right? So even if there were like 200 people taken hostage or whatever, there'll be in every family, there'll be someone who died during the stuff which happened last month.
But
And
why
my
doesn't
question
anybody
to-
talk about it? Nobody talks about it. They just talk about, oh, the poor Arabs, the poor Arabs. They got no
Exactly.
food, they got no water, which is bullshit. They're all eating fine. I saw the videos of all the Arabs waiting at the Gaza. No, but everybody looked showered, everybody looked clean, everybody looked fed. That's all. You know what? They're all crybabies. But I want to say something to Henry. What did he say up here? He said, he says, I know one thing. Sydney is an Arab hater. Yeah, I am an Arab hater. I do hate Arabs. But I didn't say I want to kill Arabs. The Arabs who are Jew haters want to kill the Jews. There's the difference, Henry. You got to understand this. Just because I hate someone doesn't mean to say I want to kill them. But when it comes to the Jews and Jew hatred, it's death to the Jews. You got to understand this, and we live with this every single day.
This is the only thing where I agree with Sydney.
The only thing. Well, at least there's something, huh? Good.
And no, in this discussion, right? Because I'm jumping from one side to side, trying to tell you that not this or this. This is the difference. The Muslims' hatred against the Jews is the outcome of it is to destroy Israel, to kill all the Jews.
Right.
The Jews also hating the Muslims. That's for sure.
Yeah.
right?
But they don't want to kill them.
But they are not about to take all these Muslims or all these Arabs out of this planet.
Right.
That's the difference.
That's the difference. That's a major difference. And if you don't recognize that, then you're part of the problem.
And Sydney, I'm done for today.
Listen, I've been broadcasting for over 3 hours. I think it's probably time for this session at least to come to an end. Crescendo, Pio, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And yes, maybe Henry Hansen's right. I get a little bit emotional, but it's the ignorance of from people like Henry is what brings the emotion out of me. And I don't apologize for it. I really don't.
No, you don't need to.
No.
Let's leave it at that.
Let's just leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah.
So thanks for everybody for watching, and we will be back. I will be back. I can't say when, but at some point.
Counting on that.
I'm counting on it. Yep.
Have a good night.
Yeah, we don't have to leave the room, but I'm just stopping the broadcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we should do this on a daily basis or on a weekly basis? Hearing a negative response to that, we will just play it by ear.